What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be about why you should learn Toki Pona for 2 weeks in order to make yourself a better language learner. Now, this is something that I've done twice in my life, and I think it was a really beneficial experiment for me both times. Now, I'm sure some of you are asking, what's Toki Pona? Well, this is a language that has only 120 words in it. So it doesn't take very long at all to learn every single word in the entire language. Now, some people say it has 120 words, some people say it has closer to 125. There's kind of a gray area in there, but either way, this is a language that has almost no words whatsoever, and it will not take you a long time to learn every word in the language. That's why I recommend learning this language for 2 weeks as an exercise that's going to help you progress forward in learning other languages. Now, I'm sure some of you are asking, but Aaron, why should I learn this obscure language that is not spoken by anybody that I know? And that's a good question, and I have several reasons for you. The first of all is this recorder. So, I'm sure a lot of you remember learning how to play the recorder. It's a type of flute that's really easy to learn, and they teach it in a lot of elementary schools. Well, the reason that they teach you how to play the recorder in elementary school is not because they're trying to raise an army of recorder players so that the world can be filled with recorder music. The reason is that they want you to be able to use your experience learning the recorder as a stepping stone to learn other instruments. The recorder is so easy you can play it with 3 fingers. I remember picking up a recorder in 3rd grade in my music class and learning how to play that, and we learned a few scales and a few very simple songs. You learned how to read sheet music, you learned about tempo and about pitch and the names of the different notes, and it was all very easy to do because the recorder is such an easy instrument to learn. 2 years later, when I was in 5th grade, I learned how to play the trombone, and a lot of those skills transferred from the recorder to the trombone, which is a much more complex instrument to learn. And it's a lot easier to learn the basics of music and music theory on the recorder than when you have this big unwieldy trombone that doesn't even have any precise location for each one of the notes. That's why learning the recorder is a valuable stepping stone for learning more complex instruments, and in the exact same way, learning Toki Pona is a valuable experience for learning more complex languages. When you're learning music, you have to learn a set of more specific skills, like playing scales. Well, when you're learning languages, you also have to learn and work on some more specific skills that are going to help you progress in your languages, like learning vocabulary, learning grammar, and learning circumlocution. Now, circumlocution is the art of talking around whatever it is that you're trying to say. Have you ever had an experience in the language that you're learning where you're speaking to someone and then all of a sudden you run into a brick wall because you cannot remember the one word you're trying to use? In that situation, what you have to do is find a way to talk around that one word and get your point across without using that word exactly. And Toki Pona is a perfect exercise for learning circumlocution. Because there's only 120 words in this language, you have to exercise your brain a lot to try to figure out how to express yourself without using very precise words. There is no word in Toki Pona for unicorn. There's no word for gasoline. There's no word for beer. There's no word for farm. That's why learning Toki Pona is an exercise for your brain that makes your mind more flexible in coming up with ways to talk around these limitations. It's really useful to learn this skill, and once you learn Toki Pona a little bit, you start to see how easy it is to really work around these and how unnecessary all these extra details are in our language. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I once spent 2 weeks learning Toki Pona, and that was in 2015. I then proceeded to forget everything I knew about the language, and then earlier this year, I spent 2 weeks learning it again. So this is a language that I learned twice. I had no goal of speaking Toki Pona for my entire life, but for 2 weeks I put my other languages on hold, and that wasn't long enough to really affect my learning of those languages, and I just focused specifically on Toki Pona, and it really opened my mind to a whole new world. And believe it or not, there's actually a vibrant Toki Pona community online, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, you're going to be able to find a lot of people that are speaking Toki Pona, and you'll be able to find a lot of resources that help you learn Toki Pona for those 2 weeks. And I'll link to some of those resources in this video, probably up here or down in the description below. And I promise you will be blown away by how fast you're able to learn every word in the entire language. And after the course of maybe 1 week, you'll be able to start really understanding a lot of the conversations and a lot of the comments that people are leaving on the internet. And it's an amazing experience to go from knowing nothing about a language to being able to understand almost everything you read and hear in the course of just 1 week. And then by the end of that week, you're going to look back and think, wow, it's unbelievable that just 1 week ago, I was not able to read this text that I'm now fully comprehending. So even if you have absolutely no interest in learning Toki Pona, I highly recommend at least trying this as an experiment, because it can't hurt anything. Learning a new language for 2 weeks is not going to be enough to hurt your other language learning goals, but it can be a fascinating experiment even if you gain nothing else from studying Toki Pona. And if you've never reached a really high level in a foreign language, this could be a really cool opportunity for you to just take a short amount of time and finally reach a high level of proficiency in a language. If you've never had that experience before, you should at least give it a try and see what it's like. And who knows, you might really enjoy Toki Pona and really enjoy getting to know the other people in the Toki Pona community online. And just like I kept my recorder from 3rd grade, this could be a hobby that you develop a really deep interest in and you want to keep progressing in for the rest of your life. But even if that's not your goal, learning Toki Pona is at least worth a try. So thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you guys next week.